This upcoming fall, I will be a freshman at the University of New England. I know that I will be playing football and I'm studying sports management, and that's about all I know. I don't know too much more than that. So I did a little digging on what to expect for next year, some of the opportunities that will be available to me, classes wise, club wise, and that is what I will be talking about today. So I am your host, Jaden Zipper. Thank you for listening, and this is the Jay Z Podcast. So I looked into the classes that are available for my major, sports leadership and management, and I found a couple, I found a lot of interesting classes, but I highlighted six ones that I think are really interesting and that I want to talk about. The first class is number 225, sports marketing. It just goes into, it's not an introduction class, it's a second year class, I believe, for sophomores, and it goes into, the marketing behind sports, how to market a team, how to market yourself, and all the marketing that comes within a sports team, because obviously there's a lot of it. And then another second year course, number 250, sports and rec finance. I think this one's really important because obviously, while you participate in sports because you love the sport, there is a business side that comes down to it, no matter the level, high school, college, professional, semi pro, whatever. There's always financials involved. So this one really gets into, how to manage that, especially, from a coaching aspect. Third class I looked at, number 330, sports governance. I think this one's really good because obviously, there's a lot of rules in sports, about, the guidelines, about leagues, everything, how to run a team. You always have to follow the rules. You have to abide by the rules, or else there can be penalties. So I think this one does a really good job at diving into, the rules of sports, and that's why I highlighted this one. The next one, number 360, leadership. This one's a really big part for me. I want to I want to coach football after I graduate, college, whatever level. And leadership is huge. As a coach, as someone that people are hopefully going to be looking up to, you have to know how to manage that, how to manage responsibilities, uh, how to treat people that play for you, how to make them respect you. And I think leadership does a really good job at going into how to be a leader, which is obviously very important. Number 420, research methods. This one's pretty cool because obviously as a someone in sports, you're going to have to do research. You're gonna have to scout. You're gonna have to know how to look into things. And I think that's not something that's really taught much. So I think that's a good class. Just teaching how to even start and think about that. And finally, the final class I want to talk about, number 395/495, sports management internship. I believe this is an internship that both juniors and seniors do, that you do both your junior and senior year, although I can be mistaken about that. I think this one's really awesome. It's a great opportunity to do an internship because at the end of the day, in the business of sports, what it comes down to is, connections and experience, and you can take as many classes as you want in college, but none of that's really going to help you land a job. What's going to help you land a job is having experience working beforehand, on teams, on a coaching staff. And I think this does a really good job of putting that out there on a resume and teaching, how to frankly do the job that you're learning how to do. So I really love that. And then I have some extracurriculars I want to talk about, being the football team. I'm playing on the football team. That's what I'm committed for. That's what I'm going to do. I think they have a really great program here. They have all new facilities that were built within the last like 10 years ish. Their program's new. They only started talking about it in 2016. And then the first year was a JV season in 2017. And the first real year, I believe, was 2018 as a varsity program. So I think, that's a new program. It's up and coming, and you definitely see that in the record. Every year they're getting better, and they have a really great program. They went 8-2 this last year. A lot of kids coming back. I've heard nothing but great things. I'm really excited to join. I think they have an awesome coaching staff. I think they do a really great job. So that's what I'm really excited for. And then another team I want to talk about, a club baseball team. So I'm pretty terrible at baseball. I doubt I could even make it, but and I don't know how it would work in with the scheduling for football. So probably it's not that realistic. But I love baseball, and I would love to try out if I get the opportunity. So I think it's awesome that they have these things that aren't, it's not a team, but it's a club team. So for kids that, aren't as good, you still have the opportunity to, play for fun. And, I love club sports. I love the fact that they have a club baseball team. That's really awesome to me. So, yeah. And then another club, surf club. This one's really cool to me. It's on, uni is on the water. They have campuses in Biddeford and Portland. The one in Biddeford has a beach on campus, and there's also beaches nearby. Very, outdoorsy school, and obviously being on the water, especially when it's warmer out, I'm sure there's gonna be some people surfing. So surf club, that looked interesting to me. And then the final club I want to talk about, this one just seemed interesting. There's a Pokemon Go club, which is just, it's cool to see that, like, if you have an interest, if you have a hobby, no matter how niche it is, there's a place for it. You can do things, and there were plenty of clubs that maybe weren't as mainstream or not as many people doing it, but it definitely was something, something interesting. And I think it's cool that you can do what you want to do. And so yeah, that's 6 classes, 4 extracurriculars, and a whole lot of stuff to be excited about for next year and on. So at the end of the day, I don't fully know what I'm getting into until I'm in it, until you got boots on the ground. But as of now, I think this was really great to dive into what I can possibly expect. I hope you guys learned a little bit of something about an awesome school, and I know I did, and I'm very excited to go next year. So once again, this is the Jay Z podcast. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys in the next one.